Welcome everyone back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Apothecary Diaries Season 2, Episode something. Leave a like and subscribe. Let's frickin' go. Actually, there is no episode next week, according to a comment that I read.
Are you taking just a...
I don't think it's a break for the show. I'm not sure, but I think it's for the network. Like they're taking the slot or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Leave a like and subscribe though, and we'll see you when the next episode comes out. Let's frickin' go.
JINSHI 様、玉葉妃が酸欠かれたとか。予定にはまだ早いのですが、一応準備を。どうぞ。
Another doctor.
今は落ち着いています。陣痛も収まり、疲弊もないご様子です。
そうか。
すみませんが。
ミコの状況は
逆子の件でしたら心配ありません。マオマオの治療が功を奏したようです。
マオマオ、今はもう10日。
Such a long time.
無事なのか。
ローメンさん、今日何か手伝いを。
Stay out of it.
入り口に立たないでください。出てください。
Hey.
自分より動揺している者がいると私は落ち着くな。では私は一度何かありましたら知らせを。
ジン様、
どうした。
冷えた宦官の件でお話が。
Someone finally put it together.
何が分かった。
の名はティエ。元は異民族の奴隷という話でしたが、はずのものの誰とも面識がなかったそうです。おそらくどこかで紛れ込んだものかと。
高級に入り込むためか。
周りと馴染まずにいたのもボロを出さないためでしょう。情報もほぼ残っていません。寮に手を合わせているところを見た者がおります。
信心深いものならそれくらいするだろう。
ですが、
北側の墓地。
はい。選定のお手つきになり、高級で最後を迎えた者たちの。
You're right.
I'm always right.
ティエンはそこで何者か
Every time.
の前で手を合わせていたようです。
選定の時代に幼くして花を散らされた女たちは死後も高級を出ることが許されない。その名を記録されることもなく、この花園で消えていく。診療所の予感か。 失礼します。
We should ask her some questions.
Yeah, maybe,
Oh.
この匂い。
the alcohol she was
That she
distilling.
gave to her, yeah.
マオマオはどこへ行った。落ち着け。今の俺は宦官の陣士だ。いつも通り。
And it's too late for that.
非水球の次女について知りたいのだが、心当たりはないか。
He really spoke like an emperor there for a
Yeah.
second. Oh!
Oh boy.
何か知っているな。
Imagine like forgetting the face of that guy over the course of your lifetime, if possible, and then being reminded.
Yeah.
声で名前を呼ばれ、甘い異国の菓子をいただきました。
何の話だ。
皆、若い頃のあの方の姿を知ら
That's fucked up.
我がの見る影もなく、私が成長してからは通われることもなく、話に聞くのみです。
誰のことだ。
あなたはよく似た。
何の話をしている。
あの方もまた甘い蜂声と天女のようなお顔をしておられました。 たのような方が看板のごとき真似を
Just
している
calling him out. Don't let her go.
Oh yeah, Count June's like, kill that bitch. Stop resisting.
どうします？ジン様。
I mean, there are.
Oh.
毒か。水を持ってこい。
Holy shit.
ジン様、ご主人。ジン様。
He's trying to stick his finger down her throat, make her throw up.
この旅館の医局へ同じ真似をしないようにやっておけ。
We got bigger fish to fry than this woman.
Yeah.
しっかりなさいませ。旅館の戯れなど気にしてどうします？
Yeah, it's not
That
really
was not
casual.
casual. It was very informed.
That'd be so. Yeah, that's messed up.
青ざめていた。
あの方もまた
ガオシン、俺はあの方に似ているか？恐怖させ毒を煽らせるほど。俺の中にすでに老人のようだった。母にも似ず、兄にも似な。だから信じた。
どなたに似たのかしら。帝の好みを考えしね。
Come from Aldo. What are you talking about here?
血のつながりがないという噂をし、東宮の地位から逃れようとした。帝である兄に頼み、念願の名を得て女の
Oh, he asked for it.
何のためか。滑稽というほか。
Oh. I didn't think he asked for it. That's interesting.
私は私にできることを。
するだけです。
自分を笑うのは後だ。今はやるべきことがある。
It's time to lock in.
あの旅館、
He's gonna dig. Yeah. Or no. Oh, inside of there.
大月と別外れだな。
Or what?
Lantern plants. Wait.
太陽。
去年亡くなった女官の名です。
ああ。よく人を集めて怪談話をしていたな。確か、とある妃の次女だった。身内が
The baby that got sent out.
大砲の血を引く者はただ一人。イカンとの密通による
I don't even need to read the subs. I don't even need to read the subs. I already know.
娘が生きていれば
Just as planned.
Did you see that little flash?
I don't need to. I know it was suirei, wasn't it?
Yeah, but like he put together all of that as well.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I do need to read it. How did he put together the?
娘が生きていれば
どちらへ？
Took you long enough.
together.
Took you long enough, Jinshi. I did that
Oh,
shit
boy.
fucking a season ago.
大砲の仕えていた妃後に師匠に下賜され娘を、その娘が老来した。そして目を
The concubine that Taiho served, Taiho is the woman,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Was later given to Shisho. So she was a concubine of the emperor, Shisho's wife. That's
Yeah.
new. That's brand new information. They're
That's
just sneaking
interesting,
that in
and
there.
it makes a lot of sense given like what we kind of know to be the case of like when concubines
Yeah.
are like they get given to people as a gift. So if she was like a really good concubine, but obviously the emperor
Too
wasn't
old.
interested, so they send her out, and then she takes care of the baby of her lady in waiting.
Right. And then that's why
that's
her
why they're
and Loulan are
sisters.
sisters, because they were raised together.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Garnet Pavilion. The Garnet Pavilion, which is now...
That's
Wasn't that Ado's and Loulan's now?
yeah.
Yeah.
大砲の仕えていた妃は後に師匠に下賜され息子の娘が老来した。そして 大砲とイカンとの間にできた娘だが、急を追放されたイカンと共に消息は分かっていない。されたイカンと共に
He just left.
Yeah, there's not much. We haven't had a lot to speculate on who the doctor was.
イカンと娘の行方について何かただの直感だ。本当につながりがあるのかは分からない。それでも
But it's not even her in there. So, I don't know.
I wonder if he'll be able to tell. Hiding her face.
急に尋ねて申し訳ありません。
I wonder if he's gonna know her well enough to be able to say.
She's
構
sweating.
いませんとのことです
And she's
doesn't
speaking
speak.
through, yeah.
How strange, they all look the same.
まじりの釣り上がった揃いの
Other than the eye color, I guess.
お伺いしたいこと
Like
があります
Kitsune.
ジン様
何を
確か次女は7人いましたね
Now there's only
もう一
6.
人はどうしました私は宮に仕える次女たちの名前と顔を把握し
Oh my god.
あなたたちは毎日のように変わるので
Be able to spot
わか
right
りや
there.
すい部分で記憶していた例えば唇の形や目の
They're all panicking.
Yeah.
あとはそうほくろの位置総理いや連風かなお前
That's
は
kind of crazy that he actually knows her.
最初から
It means he was doing his job well.
大量の銃自分とよく
Confuse
似た
everybody.
人ばかり選んだのもこうや化粧をしていたのも
Those who are just tuning into this episode, we're not freaking out right now because we knew this already.
本物はどこへ行ったどこへ行ったローラン妃はどこへ行った
申し訳ありません連風は本当に何も知らない
She just looked the most like her.
ご容赦ください
But why don't you know something?
He's letting the fucking voice of the Emperor slip through a lot more.
落ち着けではどこへ行くとないんだ
No, just why would she?
もう戻らないで
Oh, that she wouldn't be returning.
上級妃が自分の意志で高級を抜け出したということか
Everyone gets arrested.
Yeah. And that's really fucked up too. That she said she wouldn't be returning because then she basically just made this girl forever
Yeah.
just pretend to be her.
And basically sends her to death because somebody would find out eventually.
Yeah, and or like she just has to bear the children of this guy, even like
That's if it goes really well for the rest of her life
Yeah.
and nobody puts it together.
yeah,
Which is possible, but it's way more likely that somebody would find out what was going on.
yeah, that's messed up. I mean, to be honest, if JINSHI wasn't there, probably no one would have noticed because like she doesn't really talk too much and isn't like super good friends with any of the other concubines or anything. Like, someone would notice if Gyokyo was doing that because she like sees other people more often.
I wonder what the deal is. Like, I wonder if she must, like, judging by what JINSHI was saying, or maybe it was maomao who said it, but the Emperor being like, I don't know about this. I wonder, like, and people in the comments have said that loulan hasn't been with the Emperor sexually, but I'm not sure if I believe that because I don't think that was said in the story, was it? I think it maybe was implied.
I think it was implied that
But
it hadn't.
people, like, that information, for me at least, came from the comments. And then there was the boob talk that we had when they were in the bathhouse, which would imply, like, based on her figure, that she was developed, like, the point of that, of showing her boobs and having the other characters comment on them, was to imply, or, like, to kind of foreshadow that she did have the qualities that the Emperor would enjoy, right? Like, that was kind of the point
but that
of
doesn't mean that.
That doesn't mean that they were, but I'm saying that's more concrete evidence to me that maybe they did than the implication that they didn't, or based on the comments. But, I don't know. Because some of the comments were disagreeing with me that suirei was involved in any of this. So, you know what I'm saying? And that with the ghost stories and with fucking with the other eunuch and with everything. Like anytime I would bring up suirei, I was right every time. I was right every time I brought her up this season. I don't know if people are gaslighting me just because they want a reaction, or if there's anime only too. That's possible. But I brought it up every time. Go back and look at every time I brought up suirei. It all connects back to this. I was right every fucking time, and I doubted myself because of you people. And I'll never forgive you. But my point is, I know better than you. No, I don't. But because some of you guys have read the thing. But the cat's looking at me like I'm crazy.
She's like, please shut up.
To be real, my point is, I've doubted what I've thought based on comments for stuff that I've ended up being right about. And I don't know who is telling that based on other information that wasn't included in the anime, or whether people are speculating because they're also like theorizing anime only, and they're like reading in implications that they see and that I think are reasonable, but like aren't actually, but like what I know is backed up with actual facts and foreshadowing was the boob talk that we had, and that actually. So all of this to say, with what I'm bringing up with that is. It's kind of scary to think that Renpu here might have been fucking the Emperor in the place of loulan, and I think that's really sad.
Yeah.
And I think is, in a way, like, the previous Emperor was a pedo and raped women, and this is like I say quasi rape not to diminish the severity of hiding your identity and lying to a sexual partner and like force and like having sex with them without them knowing all the details, as if that's not a serious thing. But I'm putting it on the same, like I'm trying not to compare it so readily to statutory rape and the power imbalance involved with that. So it is still a rape.
Yeah. And
but it's not on the same level, so I just don't want to
yeah.
compare the same things. But it's a thing, like all of this is to kind of change the circumstances with what happened with the previous emperor and to like probably maneuver things down into power of the hands of people that aren't like this, this royal power. Maybe there's an altruistic kind of view that like all this previous emperor was so terrible, the previous dowager was such a bitch, and the shrine of choosing, blah blah blah, the original people of the fucking empire, all this stuff, the bloodline and this and that, and it needs to go back to truth. Maybe they have like a more like less selfish way of reasoning to do this, like taking power away from the family that was doing all this shit before with the previous pedo emperor and stuff like that. Maybe it is just selfish, but maybe there is something more to it, is my point. But they're basically in doing whatever they're doing with this plot are kind of like loulan is kind of doing weird sexual fuckery, as like kind of a rebound from what the previous emperor did. I don't know if that makes sense, or if what I'm putting together things right. I just don't want to conflate things too much. But anyway, sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it's pretty messed up too, because like obviously he wouldn't know that she's not who she says she is, but also she has to be with this guy who thinks that she's someone else. It's not like it's her, like,
if they even had sex, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the future that she was supposed to stay here forever. It's not like, oh, she was supposed to stay here by herself for like, a month maximum, and then she'll come back so she could avoid anything, until that, It's, it's kind of crazy.
Maybe we'll watch the rest of the episode, but then that makes me wonder, we might find out some details, but so loulan Shisui said that she was never coming back. And she goes with suirei to this hot spring village, and there's the Western emissaries, or at least one of them, and all these other powerful people are gathering there. This like kid who's like the son of a lord or whatever, and it's maybe her brother, maybe just another person. There's these powerful people gathering. There's a fox ceremony. There's all this talks of foxes, all this talk of kitsune, and like shape-shifting people. That's like a theme this season. It makes me wonder if she says like, I'm never coming back, and she has this free-spirited mentality. It seems to me that she just does not want this, and other people in the comments have theorized, and I think that this is maybe where it's going, that like the reason why Shisui is trying to like smooth things over with Maomao so much and like cutting her bindings and like pretending to be a prisoner with her isn't just for a cover, isn't just for pragmatic reasons. It's also because she's giving up her life as a concubine and wanted to start living with a friend that she made and like someone that she likes. Problem is it's all based on a lie.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of where it's going, is that maybe Shisui, loulan was abandoning loulan and just becoming Shisui full time, and that was her plan. And maybe that wasn't in the plan of her mother and her father or whoever's making the plan. I think it's the mom.
Yeah.
But she's like kind of double crossing in a way and like just saying, oh, well, it doesn't really matter if I'm there. It just matters if loulan is
Here's
there.
the other thing. And we need to watch the rest of the episode before we just keep yapping. But what I want to say is it's interesting that her mom is from here. Like, it's not just Suirei's mom, who was from here, and then Suirei went out when she was a baby, and then she came back. The fact that Shisui's mom was a concubine from here, and could actually like tell her things that would be relevant, makes even more sense as to how she would be the mastermind behind this. Whereas Shisho, like, what would Shisho ever know about the rear palace? Like, he wouldn't know anything about the rear palace, but she would know exactly what goes on in the rear palace. Very. She would be very familiar with it and be
with
able
the
to...
shrine as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's all the shrines and there's stuff connected to, like, all that stuff was, like, seemingly connected to the analogous version of Japan in this world. Like, this is sort of China. And then there's, like, the island nation across the sea or whatever that, you know, and the shrine is built kind of, like, in their tradition. I wonder if that's kind of what they're going for, is that Shisui's mom, loulan's mom, is like from that bloodline or from that kind of shit and is bringing that in here, and maybe like she built that tunnel, or maybe her people built that tunnel or something, you know what I mean? Like maybe they're going with that kind of thing, like, you know, I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to see.
Oh, for a second I thought we were only like that. I was like, oh my god,
we are basically only that. We're like 10 minutes left. There's a lot to go over, yeah. Left of her own free will.
They don't know anything.
総出で探していますが、ローラン妃らしき人物は見当たらない。
Yeah, she's not here.
もう妃と呼ぶ必要はない。
She left.
Yeah. This is a big no-no.
承知の上で計画したのだろう。急に入れるということは帝にとっても利がある行為だ。人質として高級という鳥かごに閉じ込めることができる。
Oh.
師匠は娘を可愛がっていたように見えた。だが実のところがどうだったのか。まあどうだったんだろうな。義女の足抜けのようだといつだったか言っていたが、自らついていったのか。
No, not really.
それなら書き置きなど残さない。
Yeah.
一体どこへ。
Also make a lot of sense if because the mom had experience being here as one of the concubines, she felt trapped to be here. Maybe her daughter is very similar. So then she made this elaborate plan of like, okay, we're gonna send you in there, and then you're gonna do some spying for us, and then you're gonna come out, and you don't have to do that anymore after we set up this poor other girl to basically just be enslaved to us and trapped there forever.
I could see that. I think it's more likely that she's doing it of her own free will and wants to escape this. And it to me would make more sense if Shisui's mom was like putting all of this pressure, because she, like, what happened was she was going to be queen, she was going to be empress, and then she got shuffled away, and then got pawned off on like the secondary emperor, like the richest family, but not with any real political power, not any like official political power. So now she has a daughter, and she's like, you're gonna be the next empress. We're gonna abort all the babies of all the other bitches in there. You're gonna give birth to the first son. You're gonna do everything you can, and then it makes sense that it would produce somebody like Shisui rather than someone like concubine loulan. And that's why she's all about bugs, and she's all about exploring, she's all about having fun. And that also fits more with kind of the style of the show that this is, that she's like has all these expectations but is secretly like shirking them because it's too much pressure, and it's not her choosing to live the life that she wants to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess it could
go both
either
ways.
way.
I think my way is more
they're
likely.
leaving the her mom just like so ambiguous.
Way on purpose. Yeah, at this point it's so obvious that they're enshrouding it, like that they're that it's on purpose. They're keeping
even
it out of sight.
not even showing her face in a like, obviously because we haven't seen her yet, but like
But it would have been less obvious. It would have been less obvious if they just showed her and she just looked like a average person, but she probably doesn't. She probably has a particular
especially with
look to her.
JINSHI putting everything all together here, like JINSHI puts it all together, but it's like the piece that he's not paying attention to is the mom. Like that he's like, oh, who knows what Shisho really wants? Is like, does it matter what Shisho wants? This is this is as far as I'm concerned, not Shisho's plan in any way.
Yeah. Which plays into kind of the whole setup of the whole series so far, where it's all about the royal family, it's all about the crown prince or the emperor, and they have the power. But then we see the previous emperor, who was apparently like a crazy tyrant that was like feared by all, but he was feared by all for like really pathetic reasons, and he just like cowered in fear from being touched by people. And it's not like he didn't have a reason for that from what we understand, but it goes against the assumptions that we make about the people in power and about who holds the power. And then all of the other stories and everyone that we see, every actually powerful person, everyone who actually does something to change the world is, or change the circumstances subtly and with great desperation and clawing at the walls of their position, is a woman who is like way smarter than people give them credit for. And way smarter than their position allows them to act. That's kind of how it is. So they have to do it through like snidey kind of ways. There's maomao, there's fucking the nurse lady, there's suirei, there's shisui, literally everyone. Everyone. Even people like Gyokuyo are like being politically clever. And like, maneuvering in ways that are kind of smart. And the people that are admiral, even like someone like Lihua, who is not as politically minded, is admirable and honest and caring and in her own kind of way, to where that's the difference between her and her cousin. There's all these people, and then the foundational story of this nation is of a mother figure, like guiding everyone and giving birth to the first emperor, I think, and then things going from there. But it was a woman who held the power and who gave and who birthed the nation. So like it all kind of ties in with all of this previous setup of all these powerful women and them being the ones holding the true intentions and moving things from the shadows, kind of. And then for the main like villain not to be Shisho, this powerful man, but this woman who was dejected and kind of like shat out by the empire and is trying to like reclaim that power because maybe she has some family connection, or maybe it's a more personal thing. Anyway. So it's all very well set up and good writing. Okay, now let's watch the show. Oh God. Bomb them all!
You're just telling him now?
Oh shit,
Precious
bamboo
juice box.
I think it was a juice box. I thought it was just blood from the bamboo.
You should have told this guy like day one. He could have found her. What are you doing?
I was joking about the bombs. They were trying to hide it from him. It's gonna be a real problem.
My fucking God.
What? Shisho's missing?
Excuse me?
No, they're probably hiding him. Oh! I wonder if he's going west. That's maybe why the Western emissaries were there. Maybe he's gonna be like,
packing up and leaving and going with them.
Maybe? I don't know. Maybe she just killed him. What if she just fucking murders him? This won't happen. This is fully not gonna happen. But what if she, like, all this stuff is getting revealed and she's like, oh shit, they're onto us. Kills him, blames it on him, and then secures the family?
But they could still blame her. As we know that they, like, not necessarily by death all the time, but they do punish, like, everyone even remotely related to someone.
Well, maybe that's why she would, like, take him prisoner and, you know, maybe forge documents, like, proving that it was connected directly to him and only to him. And maybe just save herself, and maybe she'll spin a whole story. Like, you know, because you're right. If he's connected to this... then even if everyone connected to them is going to get punished, at least in debt, if not actually killed.
Yeah. At least completely demoted and, like, essentially banished into, you know.
But then how does that work when they're so rich and powerful? So I guess let's finish watching the fucking scene. Is she dead? Oh, or she's in a coma?
No.
Excellent detective work.
No.
Sorry. No. This is actually, you know who was in charge of moving up the nurses into doctors and establishing the clinic? Mm-hmm. Who?
The freaking lady.
The dowager.
Yeah.
Jinshi's mom, grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Is she in on this? Could she be in on this?
I don't know, especially since they're saying that if none of the other ones knew about it, and she just thinks that the clinic is really good. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, it's unlikely that she'd be in on this if she actually cares for Jinshi, which I think she does.
I think she does.
Because she sees the man that she had this really weird trauma bond with, that was her
but she also
predator
views
and her
Jinshi
prey.
as like, oh, he's still really good, despite he was...
Yeah, she has a very complicated relationship, but I think overall she wants to protect Jinshi. Because she actually cares and loves Jinshi.
Yeah.
Or Kazugetsu, whatever. Anyway. So, because of that, I doubt she's in on it, but I think it's really interesting that all this stuff is coming to light. And it's all the women who were abused by the previous emperor. The other person who was abused by the previous emperor is the dowager. But her opposition would be Loulan's mom. Because they were both concubines at the same time. So I don't know, but I'm not going to put it past.
That is something to bring up.
It's something to bring up. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring it up because I think it might be important. Because they're going back to the fucking clinic.
Yeah, that's gonna be someone else's problem.
Could you imagine if it's his mom? It is! Is it literally her?
They're hiding it.
Oh no. Who the fuck is this? Oh! This is the other guy from the OP. With lock on.
Oh.
Who is this? Oh, he has an abacus? Kan Lahan?
外邸内でラの名を持つ者はラカンとラハン2人しかいない。古く皇族から与えられた技なのはず。
So it's kind of like a family rank.
軍師殿の養子だな。
Oh!
Interesting.
こちらをお見せしようと思いまして。
これは
どうでしょうか。
国庫の水筒帳だな。
上から調べろと言わ
Why do
れ
you
た
seem
も
so
のです
creepy?
Because he's Lakan's adopted son and Mao Mao's adopted brother.
そこからなぜこどころがわからないのが気持ち悪いようでして。そこからなぜ国庫に洗っていたら自然と実物を見ていただきたかったのですが量が少々につく範囲で抜粋しました。
ここ数年穀物の値が明らかに上がっているな。
What about
面
paper?
白いですよね。干ばつも公害もなかったのに、なぜか鉄の値も上がっているのです。国全体の金属の値も。いるのでしょうか。調べたところそんな計画はどこにも見当たりません。
Oh, like a secret hot spring village?
ないところは養父にそっくり。言いたいことは理解した。
Or a secret
穀物
gun
自体は
factory?
大した目ではないが、量が量だ。値上がりするのだ。その差額は誰かが横領している。そして金属の値上がり、こちらも何者、そう言いたいのだろう。はい。私が思うに、この2つの行き着く線、これほどのことができる人物も限られるでしょう。私ならもっと詳しく調べることができます。流れがどこに集約しているのか。
Well, it
教え
would,
て
yeah?
みたくないですか？
Get out of my office.
You're creepy.
You weird fuck.
それでよく利害なしに話を持ってきたわけではないのだろう。
ジン様、少し勉強していただけないでしょうか。
What, Bill?
それは
They buy a bunch of stuff.
高級のもの。
Oh,
Oh, serious?
he actually destroyed. I thought that was just.
わか
Fine, if you find something out, I don't really care. I like how he's is he a dog?
I think he's supposed to be a tanuki, but maybe I'm misremembering. But I thought that the tanuki Shisho was the tanuki and Lock-on was the fox. But he's
No, I thought it was the other way around.
okay. Maybe I'm wrong. That makes sense because they're all talking about foxes for all their
Yeah.
shit and the fox shit. The fox.
Play village.
Yeah, but
Fox masks.
the fox fucking. I just need the word before we move on. I can't do this. Festival.
自業自得だな。わかったのですか。
Tanuki or raccoon
その
dogs.
代わり徹底的に調べる。かいた先で何が起きようとしているのか。
仰せのままに。
使えるものは何でも使ってやる。
I
Oh,
feel
shit.
like they're being
my God.
adopted. Sorry,
I'm
I
just
just I feel like their like adopted son thing is very similar to Guy and Rock Lee of just like how are these people not actually related?
I think there was a mention before about Lock-on's brother
Doing what?
having a son. Am
Oh.
I might be fucking completely making that up. I don't know.
I can't remember, but I was just making the joke that because they're so similar,
Yeah.
you're just like it's just uncanny
Yeah.
that you just happen to adopt someone that
It's
turned
so
out like
insane.
that.
でも使ってやる。
All right.
Okay, last scene. BOLDcast doesn't pause before the end of the episode. Challenge Impossible edition. Jump out the window. She looking at the moon as Zui gets you. I wonder if she's got to paint the mask.
Oh, and
Okay, nothing.
the lantern flowers, same as what's at this festival.
Where?
At the grave.
Right, that was the connection. That was the connection. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. And all the other things we talked about. I don't even know how much we could talk now because we talked about everything. But there was something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was, and maybe it's not worth discussing at this point.
The moment I know we already kind of talked about, but the moment where she like saw him as the previous emperor was like so.
That was crazy.
It was so creepy, and it makes a lot of sense that like a lot of the other people that are around right now wouldn't be remembering the previous emperor like that, especially like even other like even say the Dowager Empress. She like would obviously she saw him like that, but she saw him most recently and for a longer period of time as being old, you know. But it's like the last like she's not like going around him when he was old or anything. So it's like the last thing that she saw of him was him looking exactly like JINSHI. And
well, the Dowager like knows that he looks exactly like she. It was like fading. Between
I know,
to and
but I'm
from.
saying like that wasn't the last time. Like she saw him when he looked like that, the previous emperor. Then she also saw him for like many years when he was old, and then she saw Jinshi from when he was a baby, and then he gradually grew into
so it's
that.
not a surprise.
It's not a shock, but it's just crazy for someone to see, like, for the first time and get like this crazy like PTSD of this guy.
Yeah, well, I hate to say it, but like I didn't get that she was afraid. Like I know she drank the poison, and that would obviously indicate that she was afraid. But when she's talking about, and he had a face like a beautiful goddess, and she starts weeping while smiling, like it's almost like she's. My fucking facial recognition is off too in a way. But I was confused in the moment before actions were taken. I thought that she was like weirdly happy to see him, and they were straddling this weird line, but I think it was just me, maybe. I don't know. So let me know if you guys had the similar confusion before she drank the poison or before she did something, if you thought maybe the same thing, but maybe I'm just crazy. Because it didn't make sense to me for a second, or I thought they were going for something way more twisted, but I was like, oh, I might have just been wrong. And yeah, never doubt me again. I was right about everything from the first fucking moment. I called out that Shisui was loulan literally the first frame that I saw her. I was not spoiled. I didn't know fucking anything about the show, and I called out all of these mysteries like way before I was supposed to the point where people were arguing with me about that I was crazy in the comments. If you ever doubt me again, I will ban you from this channel, and that is final. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Anything else you want to say?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.